Hello and welcome to the transcription explanation of this Gallifreyan design. It was done using Loren Sherman's fan-made Gallifreyan script, which uses a combination of dots and lines on these four stems to make our consonants. And vowels are smaller circles, and they're a bit trickier because they are dependent upon their location, which changes depending on what vowel they are, and if they're enclosed in one of these four stems. Anyway, the first thing I want to talk about is the layout of this design. Now, Sherman's script is normally read bottom counterclockwise, but if you imagine an infinitely large circle, bottom counterclockwise would simply be left to right. So anyway, this is set up to be read left to right. And I also chunked it up into 3 different pieces because it's going to be going on the side of a car. So if it's going on the passenger side, we needed the door to be longer, so that'll be the combination of these two with this one here. And then on the driver's side, like these two combined, and then this one here. So anyway, yeah, that's why it's set up kind of like this and has these breaks here, because that is where the door frame is going to go depending on which side it's on. Anyway, so I'm actually going to go ahead and leave it like this because this is, I don't care that there's not enough storage space. Anyway, so let's go ahead and look at this key and start piecing together our little transcription here. So anyway, left to right, this is the leftmost thing. Here is our first word circle, and there's just one relatively small little thing on it, and it is a circle on the line of our word circle. So E's, I's, and U's are all on the line of the word circle and by themselves. A's are outside, O's are towards the middle, and there is one line going towards the center of this circle. So it is an I. So the first word is I. Okay, here's our next word. So this is just a stem on this circle here. It is specifically this stem, like that. Anyway, but this is our next word. Here's the bottom of it, and this stem overlaps the bottom. So this is the first thing we read. It is a 50% or less completed shallow divot with 1, 2, 3 lines ending on it. So this is just the vowel on it. That's an O, by the way. It's hanging out like a bead on the string on our stem. So you always read consonant and then vowel if you're reading a stacked vowel consonant pair. Anyway, so let's look at this consonant. It's in this row, and there's 1, 2, 3 lines on it. So it's in this column, so that makes that an S. And here we have the O. Continuing around, here we have another stem. It's inside our word circle. So this is the word circle line, and this shows that that stem is inside it, a complete circle inside. So it's like this, this, and this. And there are 1, 2, 3 dots. So we know it's in this row and this column. So that's an L. Continuing around, here we have our next consonant. It is before this set of, this is a vowel, before this set of consonants. But anyway, continuing around, this is a smaller circle, so we know it's a vowel, and it's on the line of the word circle, so it's this one, or this one, and there's no lines coming from it, so that's an E. So S-O-L-E, continuing around. Here's a bit of a complicated thingy. It is some stacked stems. So you can have stems in the same rows stacked on top of each other, and if they're the same stem, they'd be the same thickness of line, except these are different thicknesses of lines, so they're different stems. So you'd read thin to thick. So let's look at our thin line. This outermost one is the thinnest, this one is thicker, this one is thickest, so this is the first one we read. And there's 1 line ending on it here, 2 lines ending on it here, and a 3rd line ending on it here. So 3 lines in this row, that's an M. Okay, here's our next one. So only the stuff that affects it. Now, even though a line passes through here, only lines that end on it count. So this doesn't count, but this does. This one ends here. So yeah, even though this one passes through because it ends here and it ends here, it counts here. So that's just 1 line ending on that one. So that's an N. And now we have this stem, which again, lines passing through don't count, but these 3 dots are closest to this stem. So those 3 dots make that an L. So M and L. And then we have our last stem here on the line of the word circle with 2 dots, 1 big dot, another little dot. And dots can be big, small, whatever. But yeah, that is a Y. So solemnly is our next word. And then here's our 3rd word. We have another stacked stem, thin to thick. So look at our thin one, 1, 2, 3 lines ending on it. Yeah, even though this looks like a circle, because the lines break, they're just lines. 1 line, 2 lines, 3 lines, and this one makes that another S. Now we have this stem with 1, 2 lines on it, so that is a W. And then we have this little circle, so it's a vowel. And it's enclosed in this consonant team. So we're going to look at this thing to see if we see anything that looks like it. Now, even though it looks kind of like an O being a beat on the string, this is just a line. It doesn't really count for anything vowel-wise. And it passes through, so it's not an I or a U. So it's between E's and A's. Now, an A would be located outside the word circle. So if this word circle were to continue around, the center of the A would be outside of it. This is a little bit inside of it, or on the line. So that makes it an E, because E's are on the line or inside of the word circle, and A's are outside. So anyway, that's an E. And here we have another vowel. It's a little circle, and it's outside, so that's an A. And then we have 3 dots on a shallow divot. Shallow divot, 3 dots, R. So S-W-E-A-R, swear. Here's our next little bit. This is the word circle on it, a little circle with 1 line. So just like this, this is another I. And here we have our next word. Here's the bottom of it. This is the first little, this is a vowel, it's a smaller circle. It's the first letter we hit, and it is outside again. So that's an A, just like this A, hanging outside. And then we have this bigger inside our circle stem with 1, 2, 3 lines coming from it. So this one with 3 lines is an M, so A-M, am. Here we have our next word. And now this is actually on top of what would be, so this is the center of the circle, and the center of this circle is on top. So even though there's nothing at the bottom, you just work your way counterclockwise, and you'd see this one, which is actually in the bottom quadrant. So this is the first one you see and the first one you read. So here we go. It's a small circle with 1 line going outwards. That's a U. And then here is a inside the circle consonant with 2 lines, making that a P, because 1 line, 2 lines. So U, P, 1, 2. And here's our next word. This is a really big arc with nothing on it. So it's this stem with nothing. That's a T. Here's a little vowel, and it's inside our word circle. So that's an O, so T-O, 2. Here we have another word with just 1 consonant team on it, 1 consonant, 1 vowel. So this is a circle inside our word circle with 1 line on it. Even though it passes through here, it only ends there. So that is an N. And then we have a little vowel. It's like a beat on a string hanging out on that stem. So that is an O. So N-O. So up to no. And then here's our last word. Here's the bottom of it. It is this omega, or more than 50% completed circle, with 1 line on it. Just this line, wee, doing a little curve here. And then we have an O hanging out on that stem like that. So this is the stem with an O on it. O. And then we have another O hanging inside our word circle like that. So G-O-O. And then we have our last stem. So it's another omega, just like this one, except it's got 3 dots on it. 1, 2, 3 dots closest to that stem. So that is a G-O-O-D. So I solemnly swear I am up to no good. Yeah, and it'll look really cool as a decal along the side of a vehicle. Whoop.